Now that we've talked about the Steelers entering the season, let's talk about their Week 1 game. It's against the Falcons. I'm very excited for it, and I want to break down offense versus defense and defense versus offense for the Steelers against the Falcons. Well, look at the Steelers' offense. The big key for this is how is that line going to hold up? The Falcons made improvement in the past couple weeks trading for Matthew Judon, a very talented player, very good pass rusher, can get to the quarterback. They also have Arnold Ebiketie, who I think is in store for a big year this year. But do I think they're going to have a big game against the Steelers? Well, yes and no. I think they're going to have a very good game. I don't think big, though, is the proper word, because this is a brand new defensive scheme. This is Judon coming in on only a couple weeks of learning the playbook. There will be calls he's not familiar with. There will be stunts he's not familiar with, just certain verbiage that probably will take a couple games just to fully get. He's not been there the entire training camp. If he was, I think we're in a different story here, but because he hasn't been, I'm less worried about him. Now, the Falcons linebackers, I love Troy Anderson. We are from the same state. He's from Montana. I watched many of his games in Montana State. I've seen him play live. Fun dude to watch. He has not provided at the NFL level what I thought he once could be. And I worry about their linebackers matching up against the Jalen Warren in the past game or Pat Freiermuth. And then I look at their corners outside of A.J. Terrell. I'm just not entirely thrilled. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's good. It's very in the middle for me of, I think it's average. George Pickens is going to be the number one guy to stop in the passing game. I think that's very clear and obvious. You're probably going to use Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons to take that away as best as that you can. But you're also going to have to worry about Pat Freiermuth probably then lined up on a linebacker. You're going to probably want to bring a safety down to help with that. Well, then you're going to have to rely on Roman Wilson, depending on how much he plays. Maybe a Calvin Austin deep shot and Van Jefferson. Not really all that thrilled with all that, but that's currently what you look at for the Falcons lining up in the secondary against Steelers receiving game. But, as I said a little bit earlier in this pod, and this is on the separate clip video you're watching, the Steelers are going to thrive off play action. They're going to try and get as many mismatches as they can, and they're going to really focus on running the football. As I said, the Falcons linebackers, I'm not big on them right now. With them having to be key contributors in the run game, I'm going to lean Pittsburgh offensively in this matchup, strictly because I feel like the running lanes will be there. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren will get the chances to run the football. And it's not like if the Falcons come out early and they stop the Steelers, they're going to completely abandon the run game. No. The Steelers will run the football. They'll probably run the football heavily on the first 3 drives. Probably 4th drive, they open up play action over the top Calvin Austin. That'd be my prediction for how the Steelers are going to game plan this game. And a big key is going to obviously be how can Zach Frazier hold up? He is making his first ever start. He is a rookie. He's coming from West Virginia. I'm not really too worried about him. I feel like he's going to open up the running lanes very good. He's a very good run blocker. If you have questions about him, I would put that more in pass blocking than run blocking. He's a nasty blocker who's going to get down and dirty and just kind of get just some nasty. He's a nasty Steelers offensive lineman. I think this is the best way I can describe him. So, I think we take all this into account. I will give the Steelers a slight edge on the offense versus defense matchup for their offense versus Falcons defense. Now let's go to the other side of the ball. Steelers defense versus Falcons offense. There is one worry for me here, and it's a major one. What do they do with Kyle Pitts? Because if I'm the Falcons, I look at that second Steelers corner, that's where Kyle Pitts is going. I am putting Kyle that side. He is running like a wideout. He is not playing tight end this game. I'm going to abuse that matchup. But will they? Probably not. The Rams very much want to have their tight end line up as a traditional tight end. And I say this because that's where the offensive coordinator for the Falcons comes from. They're going to run the exact same system probably. And listen, TJ Hawkinson thrived with Kirk Cousins as his quarterback. I expect Kyle Pitts to thrive with Kirk Cousins as his quarterback. And that makes me a little less concerned because I feel like the Steelers linebackers are quick enough and they're going to have Deshaun Elliott coming down and playing the tight end as well. Outside Drake London and Kyle Pitts, no one in that receiving core really scares me. But that being said, you can make the same case that I'm very low in the Steelers cornerbacks outside of Joey Porter, and Corey Trice I have my concerns with. Maybe they try and pick on him, and I absolutely get that. Corey Trice did not play at all last year, and he is essentially, this is his rookie year. If he does play. Now, they might play Dante Jackson, who the Falcons saw twice a year. They know how to attack him. They have plenty of film of their players going against him. So, that's the key right there. Now, the run game. Bijan Robinson's a beast. He is the best running back in this game. I don't care what anyone says. He is probably going to be the best running back in football by the end of the season. He is a beast. He is going to be hard to stop. You are going to have to crash down with Landon Roberts often. You're going to have to try and beat that interior Falcons O-line. And here's the thing. The Steelers are probably the one team that can probably beat the Falcons at that. Not the one team, but they're one of the teams. Because they're very good in the front seven, which is very key in this game. I think the key for this game is linebacker play for both sides of the football. I'm lower on the Falcons, but high on the Steelers. Linebacker play will crash. They'll play the run. They'll do what they can, which leans me favoring the Steelers in this game entirely. Depending on what linebackers can do, I think sells this game because they'll both play the run and they'll both have to take responsibilities of the tight end. I'm going to take Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, two guys I'm very high on, and TJ Watt coming off creating pressure on Kirk Cousins, who is coming off a torn Achilles. Now, I know this is a quarterback that does not run much. I don't care who you are. I am lower on you if you're coming off a torn Achilles. It's just human nature. It's a hard injury to come back from. It has shortened many careers. It has aged up father time very quickly for a lot of players. A torn Achilles is not something easily come back from. And I think we're going to see that with Kirk Cousins.